Hey, what's good? Are you trying to get into an investment property for the least amount of money down? Well, that's what we're about to talk about right now. Let's go.
The world is yours. The world is yours.
Hey, what's up? My name's Chris Martin. If you haven't already, take a look at the channel, subscribe, and I would appreciate that. I really would. So we're going to talk about investment properties and getting into an investment property. Maybe you're looking to get into an investment property this year, and this is the year that you're going to purchase an investment property. Well, we're going to talk about some strategies that can help you get into an investment property for the least amount of money out of your pocket. Okay? The first thing you have to think about is what type of investment property are you looking to get into? Are you looking to get into a fix and flip where you're buying a property and you're actually renovating it with the intent to put it back on the market and sell it for profit? That's a fix and flip. Or are you looking to purchase a property, an investment property, and collect rental income over the course of that year? And that would be considered a buy and hold. So are you looking for a buy and hold situation, or are you looking for a fix and flip situation? If you're looking for a fix and flip situation, let's talk about that first. To me, one of the best strategies is house hacking. And you can get into a property with a very low amount of money down, because if you're owner occupying the property, then you can take advantage of low down payments such as FHA loans, which you can get into a property for 3.5% down. There's mass housing loans out there for 3% down. So there's definitely some minimal down that you can come up with to get into a property outside of your renovation costs. But if you're house hacking, you would get into that property with little down. Think about that for a second, because if you're purchasing a property and you're not living in the property, then that's considered a non-owner occupied purchase. And if you're purchasing a property and you're not intending to live in it, and it's an investment purchase, then you're going to have to come to the table with 25% down. And there's some situations where you can come with less to the table, but generally speaking, you want to plan for 25% down as a down payment. If you think of a property, and if it's $700,000, that's like $200,000 that you have to come, and I know my math is not perfect, but work with me here. $200,000 that you have to come to the table. That's a lot of money compared to if you're putting 3% down, 3.5% down, 5% down. If you're owner occupying it, it's just a fraction of that. So a popular thing that investors are doing, especially for early on in their investing career, is purchasing a property, getting into it, living in the property. This is exactly what I did for my first property. I bought it, I lived in it, I did the floors over, I painted, got new appliances, the countertops, and I just said, you know what, let me put it back on the market, see what happens, and I ended up making a little money. And trust me, I think I made like $10,000, $15,000, nothing crazy, but when I was 24, whenever I did that, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was balling, right? So definitely a good feeling to make a good chunk of money. And I was basically paying the same amount of money that I would on a monthly basis for rent anyway. So it's a great way to do it. I love the idea of buying a multifamily as your first investment. So if you are looking to be a landlord where you want to own multiple units and have that rental income on a monthly basis, I love the idea of buying a multifamily and living in one of the units and renting out the two others. That's if you're buying a 3-family. If you're buying a multifamily, you can actually buy up to a 4-unit property as an owner occupant under an owner occupied loan, under an FHA loan with 3.5% down. Imagine that. You can buy a 4-unit property for as little as 3.5% down and live in one of the units. And, well, Chris, how long do you have to live in one of the units? It could be a year. There are circumstances where you can move before that. You can talk to your lender about that, on what situations are actually legitimate for you to move within a year. And sometimes that's job relocation or schooling if you have a kid, but there are some circumstances if you talk to your lender on moving inside of that year time frame. But just put it there to be a year. If you're living in that property for a year and now you have 4 units you can rent out, you definitely have some chance and some opportunity to make a good amount of money renting all 4 of those units out, or even 3 of them. I love the 4 units because if you're going into a property and you have a 2-family, the problem with the 2-family is if you're only renting out one of the units, you literally only have one piece, you only have one rental income. Or if you eventually move out and you have 2 pieces of rental income, it's still only 2, where if one person doesn't pay or if one unit becomes vacant, you literally lose 50% of your income right there on that property. So I like for that purchase to be at least a 3-family, hopefully a 4-unit, but at least a 3-family. That way you have at least 2 rental incomes when you're living there and then 3 when you move out. So if you're thinking about purchasing a property in the order of how you should purchase property, and this is, everyone has different situations. To me, ideally, purchase that multifamily first. Get into multifamily, grind it out for a year or 2 or whatever it takes, and then purchase a single family after that, because you're going to save yourself a whole lot of money. If you purchase a single family first and then try to purchase a multi, you're going to have to come up with 25% down to purchase that multi. You can't go from owner occupying a single and then trying to owner occupy a multi. The mortgage companies look at that as reverse, right? So it's going to be a lot easier for you to purchase a multi with a low down payment, owner occupied property, and then you could take advantage of purchasing a single with the same owner occupied low down payment purchase. So you can purchase 2 properties with low down payments and utilize the owner occupied loans that you don't have to come up with 25% down. So if all works out good, you buy the multifamily, the 4-unit, the 3-unit, and then some time goes by, you buy the single family, and then some time goes by, you go back to the multi and you pull equity out of that and use that as your down payment to purchase another property. We'll have another video here real soon on the BRRRR method and exactly what that means, so you guys can utilize that to continuously buy investment properties. There's something also called wholesaling, where you don't need any of your own money to purchase a property. I'll put a link in the description below on exactly what wholesaling is. All right guys, hopefully you guys got a lot from this video. Hopefully it sparked something in you and you put some options on the table on how you could purchase a property, whether it's a house hack, whether it's a buy and hold and you're staying in one of the 4 units. And look, I know that people are in relationships, so you might have a significant other that's not on board with you buying a multifamily. Well, Chris, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to talk her into buying a multifamily? I don't know how you're going to do that. You're going to deal with that on your own. You're going to have to figure out how to get on the same page, and sometimes you have to make a sacrifice and buy a single and work backwards, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. But hopefully this gave you guys some inspiration, some options to put on the table so you can get into an investment property this year with little amount of money down, or the least amount of money as possible, and work hard, make those investments, buy some real estate, play the game of Monopoly in real life, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I'm out for dead presidents to represent me. World is this.